Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome back to drawing stream number, well, I guess 19 at this point. But we're doing the next chapter that I have to do for Reaper Book 2. The third chapter, I don't know, I guess I could stream that one too, but I can't stream tomorrow, really. I would have to do it like Friday or Saturday. I guess let me know if you want me to stream all of the chapter covers or just skip it. I still have to like do some work on the sketch for the last chapter cover. But it shouldn't be too difficult. Just hydrating myself. We've got a fantastic stream ahead of us. Oh, I didn't turn on any music. I should always have some music playing in the background. Feeding the Ducks. That's what this song is called. I don't know why. Kind of a weird name. I guess it's supposed to be quirky. A quirky soundtrack to have on the background. That's fine. Alrighty. Let's actually share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. That would be smart. There we are. This is my screen. Oh, you know, it just occurs to me. This is a bright white screen for you guys. I should probably like grayify it a little bit so that you don't get super blinded. Sorry about that. Alright, we got a cute Helga to do. I don't think this will take too long because it's kind of an easier one. There might be some stream difficulties along the way. I can already see that we're dropping some bars, but we'll get through it. Leah will do. Her eye's a little bit messed up, isn't it? Just a little bit. It's just barely noticeable. Alright. Start with the face. I know that there's like some people who say never start by drawing the head. But I think they're freaks. I just think that they're crazy. Because it makes you care about the character. You know? The face is the most important part. Yes, waifu, absolutely right, Yasha. Yarden. Gotta make sure I draw a waifu very good. There will be more waifus in the Reaper series also. Especially book 3. Book 3 is gonna have big titty waifu. I think I made it freckles too big. I don't want her to look like Deku. The horror! So, how's everybody doing? I hope you're having a good Wednesday. Yeah, I know what day of the week it is. I'm keeping track. Give me a break, guys. I've been working really hard. I've been working so hard trying to finish this. It's a lot of work. Who knew that comics would be a lot of work? Especially when you make them 200 pages long. What was I thinking? Oh man. But we're almost done now. The ordeal is almost over. And we're stronger coming out of it, you know? I have learned so much while working on this comic. And I'm gonna put all of that knowledge towards the next one. And the next one, and so on, until I am peak. I am become peak. Sorry. I'm a little bit fried. Starting this stream a little bit later than usual. Not so much because I wanted to do it later, but just because of how everything else around me worked out. Ooh, I gave her super thick eyebrows. That was an accident. Let's try to... Like that. That's kind of fine. Alright, let's work on this other eye. This one's... Yeah, you can tell that I sketched this a little bit too fast. Was maybe not as attentive as I could have been. That's okay, let me try to figure out like what angle this is going to be at. It's like something like there. So hey, this eye should be way lower down, huh? Go away. And then here-ish. Alright. Oh, good. My laptop is cooking and then the just like flips on. I love that. Yeah, let's just make this whole room as hot as possible. Thank you, Theater. I should just turn it off. But then I might freeze. I'm sensitive to the cold, guys. Oh, I gotta fix this too, don't I? Yeah, that should be lower. So let's see, anything new in the news, guys? Probably not. It's only been one day since the last drawing with Dannphan stream. Probably super boring, huh? A Yoko Taro Evangelion. Oh, yeah, I guess there is gonna be, it was leaked actually beforehand that there was gonna be an Asuka solo movie. That's kind of cool. I kind of feel, well, I didn't watch everything Evangelion, granted. I've only watched the original series and then the original movie. And, one of the things that I guess bothered me and many other people is that, like, the character arcs were handled so improperly. If you can call them character arcs, I don't know. I do hear that they try to, like, fix that with the newer movie, and they basically just redid the story. Because there is, I get it, because there is, like, a lot of potential behind the concepts, so it's like, ah, why let it go to waste? It has, like, this whole fan base behind it that wants to see it do well. Why not just rewrite the story and just try to make it good? But I haven't watched those movies, so I don't actually know if they're actually good. But people tell me that they, like, try to fix the issues. And, I feel like Asuka is kind of like an interesting character. I know that she's kind of a standard tsundere, whatever, but I don't know. She has potential, I guess. Especially with, like, how she is in the movie, where you see her, like, kicking ass, giving it her all to, like, just defend Earth. Whereas Shinji is just having a mental breakdown, curled up in a corner. Like, I'm on this side. I would also, like, fucking go at it. A lot of people, when they first both read the draft for Reaper Book 2 and also just saw art of this character, just assumed that she was going to be Ichabod's love interest. Ichabod does have a love interest, for the record. Not her, though. Sorry to disappoint. It's not going to be Helga. Helga is going to be someone else's love interest. She gets her own specialized husband, though. I gotta put in my love of romance somewhere in this world. I think it's so tragic how much I like romance and yet how little it sells. Not that you can't make any money from selling romance if you manage to get the right audience, but it's hard. It's actually much harder than I think people realize to get that audience, because even if you go to the right places, like you know, webtoon and the webcomic girls who are like, tee I'm prepubescent and I want to fantasize about romance and stuff. Even if you go to like those kind of websites, you get a lot of competition and a lot of bullshit treatment from the people running those websites. Selective about who the rules apply to, it seems. It's like they will allow so much softcore porn so long as they are the ones publishing it, so long as it's a webtoon original. And then, like, if anyone has a boob joke or anything like that, it's like, can't do that. Taking your comic down. I guess unless it's gay. Everything gay is kind of allowed on webtoon because they don't want to get called homophobic or whatever, so they'll just, like, turn a blind eye. I remember me and Blacklight Jack for his Patreon reacted. We did like a live reading. Well, I guess it wasn't live, but we did a reading, live reaction for a straight up pee fetish webtoon. It is as weird as it sounds. I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Why didn't you tell me, chat? Why didn't you tell me this? Shame on you. Yeah, it is as weird as it sounds. It's pretty bad. But it's okay, because it's gay. It's the men on men who have the pee fetish. So, therefore it's fine. By their logic. Anyway, I don't like webtoon. Okay. But I do like romance. I like romance. I want to continue, like, reading good romance and making good romance. But like, you gotta work within reality, you know, instead of trying to force the world to be like you. Instead, try to, like, work within what the world actually is, for lack of a better way of explaining. Try to... Sorry, working with two screens here. Change up the music. There's some sort of weird sticky substance on the tablet. I don't know what it is. Eek. So gross. I probably just ate something on my desk and then put my tablet down on it without even thinking. Ew. I'm so messy. Well, so like after this, it's just the one last chapter cover that I gotta do. I'm almost finished the map. I was thinking I would do like a Q&A section, but we'll see about that. I need, obviously, questions to put in there, so see if people get back to me about that. And what else? What's some of the last things I gotta do? A couple more edits to pages. Some like poses to slightly adjust, others that I just want to redraw. In general, I've been going over like some old pages just a little bit more consistent with like the current art style. There's like this, I guess, brief time period where I thought that I was going to do a specific type of shading on Ichabod's hair, even though I'm not talented at doing that type of shading at all. I don't know why. There's no bounds. So it looks awful. So I'm just going through all the pages and trying to remove that as much as I can. Make his hair look normal. I'm also going to go over the cover again. Not that I'm going to completely draw the cover or anything, but I think... No, that's not. Maybe how I had it before was good. Yeah, I'm mostly just going to fix things like the anatomy. But I think I might also just change some graphic design aspects about the cover. And you can argue maybe I'm overthinking. Perhaps. I could in fact be quite overthinky. But the thing that I was trying to do with the cover originally was like sort of, I guess, make a border-like graphic design, similar to what they did in like those super old school 90s manga, which I am a fan of. But now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, man, I don't think this actually fits for the series. Like, I don't think it fits the tone. Like, a big part about Reaper is like exploring the land, you know? And if we're getting this super condensed view all the time, very character-focused, granted it is a character-focused series, but like, I don't know, I just feel like it's missing a big part of the environment that you're just not gonna get when you're using border, like, condensed, claustrophobic graphic design. And I like that type of graphic design for a lot of other series. I'm just like, you know, overthinking. Overthinking is what I do. In my overthinking, I think I've reached the conclusion that I might not actually want to do that anymore. So, like, you know, not the end of the world. But I'm gonna have to make a decision. Even before I started the campaign, I was just, racking my brain with all kinds of different ideas of what I could do with the graphic design, the logo. Don't get me started with this fucking logo. I spent way too much time overthinking the Reaper logo. And in the end, it kind of looks a little generic. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of looks a little bit like, it's okay. It gets the job done. I kind of like some of the old drafts that I have of the logo, but they also, like, don't work for other reasons, even though they're, like, fine. Yeah, even though they, like, look nice. That doesn't mean that they look nice on a cover. The really thing with graphic design is it's not just about it making something that looks nice on its own. It also has to fit with everything else. I zoom in and out a lot when I draw, I know. No, I'm not trying, it's just I can't see where my hand is going. Like, look at this. Look at how I draw when I zoom in and out like a madman. Awful. I guess I can just get away with drawing just the one pinky and then omitting the rest of the hand. Because you kind of just assume, oh yeah, the rest of the hand is there. That looks terrible. Alright, well, let's not worry about it. the bright side, tablet is working as usual again, so I can use my hotkeys. That is very nice. It only messed up during that, like, last stream. I don't really know what causes that. Just temperamental, I guess. Test. Testing in the chat. Oh, man. See how fast we can get done, like the super quick half body. Although I'm not actually done, but you know, it's a very fast process compared to doing like 2 full bodies right smack next to each other, making sure they're the correct proportions and all that jazz. This is much more simple. I do prefer it a little bit simpler. The last chapter cover is also a complicated one, funny enough. But mostly just because I thought it would be cute. I thought it would be a cute chapter cover, and so I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna challenge myself today. And then here I am, like, crunching at the end, where I'm trying to, like, to the best of my ability, get done everything at a reasonable time. Now I just want to get done everything very quickly. I need to learn the skills of these animators who are able to get everything quick and finished. It's such a good skill to have. If I could draw quickly and goodly, I would be unstoppable. I would be an unstoppable monster. Screonk. You know what I mean? It's a Godzilla reference. Nobody knows what I mean. Hopefully typing C test into the it's supposed to be like code for Dannphan, your stream is fucked up. Please fix it. Because I don't understand. I don't understand your strange code. I guess I'll do this. This one. These are next. So far, the beta readers who have taken a look at Reaper Book 2 have enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm happy. Of course, you know. I'm already looking at the art and I'm like, ah. But at least I think it would take less time than a second edition of Book 1. I think there would at least be less to fix. YouTube Esta Mal? I don't understand. code. It is not one that I sprechen. Maverick says, yay, my Spanish lessons are useful. Yeah, mine weren't. I didn't learn shit. I had a Spanish teacher, though, to be fair. She was very with the kids. And she probably just didn't want to be a Spanish teacher. You know, one of those. It's like, I'm just doing this because I need a job. I hate kids. There was a point in time where they used to, well, I guess some schools still do, some like rare schools, the cool schools, but a lot more often schools used to teach German and Latin. And I remember there were like jokes. You know, a lot of the TV shows I watched growing up where they're like, Latin, it's a dead language. Right? But that sounds pretty cool. I never got to learn Latin. Not in my school. Like all these random like Hollywood writers are just like shitting on Latin for no reason. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like learning the language of the Holy Roman Empire? You crazy writers. There's a lot of like random weird things that sometimes you notice in those super old TV shows that at the very least don't age well. Let me see. None of my messages are showing in the chat, desktop or mobile. But I wanted to say I really like your art style. Fun stream. Oh, weird. I don't know why YouTube would do that. I don't have any settings that would say no chat except for Spanish chat. Why would YouTube be doing that? That's so strange. I don't get it. Is there any settings for chat? L test. Yeah, that came up. What the hell? YouTube set to Spanish. What the heck? YouTube does whatever it wants. I guess so. Another chat was having issues today. YouTube might be pooting out. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I was wondering, why is chat so quiet? YouTube is taking a shit. Oh, they're taking the piss. They're taking the piss and the shit. Not good. I would fix it, but I really don't know what to do. It's just YouTube being weird. Why does Spanish work? It's gotta be some AI. It's gotta, yeah. You turn it on to live chat. See if that fixes anything. Because I know that top chat will hide messages. It's gotta be some, if I were to guess, it's gotta be some YouTube AI feature that's supposed to hide offensive messages, but it's just not working, and so it's hiding everybody's messages. Except for the ones that it doesn't understand, aka, I guess, Spanish. Spanish code. YouTube bot is confirmed not Spanish. Now we know. That is just my ongoing theory. I have no idea what the heck's going on with YouTube. You would think that not hide any messages from mods, though. Well, if anyone has any idea of how I could fix it, I guess message me via Discord or something. Do you know any troubleshooting? I've never had this issue before, so I actually don't know what to do. It requires many L's to go L through. Yeah, just keep on typing L's. It's the only way. The YouTube bot doesn't know Spanish. That's so funny. Just L say fuck L YouTube. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. What the hell's going on? Ugh, I can see that I went very, loose with her braid here. I have to remind myself, how does a braid actually work? This part goes into here. This part is... Uh-oh. Oh no. No option is available to fix it. Damn. So YouTube is just trying to force everybody to speak Spanish now? What is this, a protest? Is this an ICE protest? Come on, YouTube. This is crazy. Looks like many other YouTube streamers are affected. Really weird. Do other languages work, or is it just Spanish that goes through? Say something in Latin. The chosen language. I bet YouTube doesn't like Latin. Bastards. I took Spanish for 3 years in high school and I don't remember any of it. Same. If only Spanish was as easy as just saying L every other word. If it works, whatever. And YouTube does not work. I got lost in the sauce. I was just rendering and I forgot to actually make this braid make sense. Although I guess it doesn't really need that much detail. You get the point. This is going on top of this, etc., etc. Guess I could add a little bit more to his finger here. Now, back to my news. I brought up that YouTube erased Latin Sanctus Spiritus. Okay, Latin works. Nice. Although I guess typing L every other word, it's probably easier just to get your message through that way. So, you can keep on doing the L's. That's fine. Whatever works in the moment, anyways. Sorry about that, guys. What's wrong with this platform? But you see, we bitched about AI, and then AI gave us more reason. I don't know if it's actually an AI thing, but that would be my only, because that's the only thing that can prevent a message from going through into chat that YouTube already has from going through in chat. Same thing with the comments section. There's a lot of comments that get held for review if YouTube thinks that they're spicy. I know, because a bunch of people have often accused me of deleting comments and like not having a very thick skin. But in actuality, it's just YouTube automatically holding their comments for review. Because they're gay and retarded. You know how it is. Alright, just gotta do her legs and then finish up with some tones. I could also thicken up some lines here and there. Make it look a little bit more pretty anyways. This stream is fire. This L stream is fire. Yes, of course. English is the only language affected. That's insane. It's gotta be, like, that. It's either they made some sort of update to whatever AI bullshit implement, Or some YouTube staffer is trying to pull an anti-ice protest, which would be very funny. Let's be honest. It'd be very funny, annoying, and definitely deserving of public shame, but very funny. Ooh, I gave her some thick thighs. Okay, let's try to reel it back a little bit with these thighs. My goodness. Thunder thighs here. Just draw these legs first, and then we'll get the hint of the dress. Damn thighs, am I right? Gotta be honest, I'm not even really a big fan of the giant thighs on like ladies to make them look. I mean, some guys really like the big, thick thighs, right? They find that very sexually appealing. I never really thought it was attractive. I think it just makes them look fat. But some guys like it, so, you know, to each their own. I think, you know, obviously a little bit of squish is fine. Really skinny legs and skinny arms also have their unique appeal to them. Something like that. Okay. Something I kind of liked about the old, like, 90s Evangelion art style is that they would have, like, super thin and blanky, like, arms and legs. It's like a 90s thing, I guess. They make the characters a little lanky. There's something appealing about it. I think it... I don't know, it, like, makes them seem weaker, but in a way, like, if it works for the story, that they're, like, kind of weak characters that need help. They can be kind of quirky. Oh, is it working again? Oh, okay. It looks like it is working again. Weird. What a weird problem for YouTube to have all of a sudden. Alright, let's flip this up. Good lord, YouTube, we are not under your beta program. Yeah, no kidding. It seems like that is the strategy for a lot of modern tech, is that they just use the actual users for beta testing. It's like the same thing with video games, right? Instead of actually fixing their games by hiring beta testers, they just release it super fucked up and have the people paying for the game be the beta testers. But there used to be, once upon a time, people that get paid, you know, the exact opposite. People that actually got paid for doing that job. And they were like, we will do anything to fire as many people in our company as possible. So they just decided to release broken games. I guess I could have it, like, connected, but, like, it's kind of tricky. Doesn't really look like it's going around her leg here. It only works intermittently for me. Interesting. So I guess it's still a little bit on the fritz, but like getting to the point of working again. I think gotta like find the center of her leg is the thing. Well, I guess it would get pulled up a little bit from the ass being protruded in the air. My laptop is a cookin'. All right. Just let her cook. Well, I have had some like scary moments where like the computer overheats and it's like, oh god, is it all gone? You know, when it shuts off because it's way too hot. I get a little bit nervous now whenever computers get too hot, but I mean, like, this particular computer, it's just kind of always getting hot, you know? It must be because it's just excited to look at this nice Helga art piece, and it's like, whoa, sexy lady, must get hot. Could add a little bit of shine to this. A little bit, anyways. One of these. Alright, let me get to tones. Super easy, super fast. Put that on cross. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites is cross. I like that. It looks like kind of a fabric-y pattern, you know, like stitches. That's why I like using it. Fun facts with Dannphan. She talks about art things. And last one, 50. Do a circle type of. I kind of switch on and off between like ellipse and line for our hair. I guess this is kind of the meta to use like circle. Don't ask me how to do tones, okay? I don't know what I'm doing, bro. I don't know. I only know so much. Which is nothing. Alright. Is that a good frequency? I can make it less. I can make it less frequent. Oh, there we go. That looks great. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic. Now that's what I call art. I think 60 maybe is fine. Keep it consistent. And yeah, now we can do a little bit of shading. Just a little bit, not too much. Do shading with the ellipse as well. Maybe do a little bit of blush, maybe? Teehee. Teehee, I'm a girl. Yeah? Maybe not. Difficult to like know what goes for the that is her canonical hair in book 3. The extra spaced out tone? Absolutely, yeah. Just a new hair color, polka dots. Imagine if you could have patterns as your hair color. What a crazy world that would be, huh? Maybe I'll just combine all the tones into one instead of trying to do the separate patterns. That'd be a little bit easier, perhaps. A little bit amazing that someone with as bad of hand-eye coordination as me can manage to do art. Isn't the world like so inspiring, guys? Here, it's a little bit easier for you to see that way. Could be doing this much easier. I don't know why I'm choosing to do it like the hard way by just lassoing everything. Casting cash. I know terms. I know things and names. I can mutter to myself like a schizophrenic. Yeah. Do you recommend inking on a vector layer versus raster layer? Do you ever use a raster layer? Typically my strat is to use a raster layer for the sketch and then line art with vectors. That's not everybody's strat though. It kind of just depends on how you work better. And, you know, I'm experimenting with new things all the time myself. I like vector layers because I can resize them, and I think that it's just quicker for fixing lines and erasing lines and, you know, all that stuff. It's quicker for. And you can resize them. And that's important for me because I tend to have a lot of resizing done for my art for multiple reasons. But I know a lot of super pro artists out there who don't use vector layers ever. Not that they have anything particularly against using vector layers, but they just, you know, they're better than me, so they don't need to use them. You know, maybe I'm overthinking this shading a little bit. Maybe it doesn't need to really be that complex. Add a little bit of blush. I don't really think she needs any like extra blush though. I think what I have with the little line art is kind of fine. And you don't want to draw that much attention away from her freckles, right? Because freckles are supposed to be like the cute, ooh, ootsy cootsy part of her face. So what we can do is we can do that. Change the line art a little bit too though. So we take the line art out of that folder and now it's normal. So this is just normal circle. Your screen. I can change it to be like that. Just hide. I can change it to pattern. I can change it to be cross. Hell yeah, I like cross. Cross is cool. I can change it to be line. I also like line. Line is cool. I love line, bro. Line has so many uses, man. For real, for real. I feel like it just goes with anything. Can I say the same of circle? I don't think I can. I think I will just use ellipse though. I think if I do it at this frequency, it might have like a weird pattern. So maybe I'll just keep it at 60. Well, that kind of looks like a weird pattern now. I don't know. How do I avoid weird pattern? And this is something that like I was talking about with another artist who is much better than I. And I was like, man, I have difficulty like trying to get the tones right without like having some weird pattern. And he's like working on a completely different program, right? So he's like, oh, well, they shouldn't have a weird pattern so long as you like don't resize it. It's like a, you don't understand. You are correct and incorrect at the same time. Like, specifically with Clip Studio, they give you the option to change the frequency of the tones, but that also will change whether or not you get that pattern. And I guess with other programs, maybe it just doesn't have the option to even change the frequency. And it just like turns out fine so long as you don't ever resize it. I'm not 100% sure. Got a trailer for the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 movie. Kinda interested in that film? Okay, it's I guess it's going back from, maybe if I just do a midway point, like 70? How's that look? You know, I'm kind of just feeling it for 60. I think maybe I should just not mess with it anymore. Because this is kind of fine. It's like just a little in-between chapter art to oogle at. That's good. Yeah, new Mortal Kombat movie. Is that supposed to connect to the last new one that came out? I don't know. I've heard on and off reviews about like whatever new Mortal Kombat movies have been coming out. Usually negative, not gonna lie. A lot of people are like, oh, well, the fights are, like, fun, but, like, the story sucks. Which kind of reminds me of, like, the critiques that I've heard from the Godzilla movies, where it's like, oh, well, the fights are super fun, but the story, the human parts of the Godzilla movies are awful. And I guess I get that. Because you know, when you're making a film, maybe you prioritize certain things over others. But at the same time, it's like, you still paid a writer. You still paid a writer to make the writing good. So it still matters. Even though it's not the priority, it still kind of matters, you know? I hope MK2 movie is good. Yeah. Hope so. I mean, if you're excited to see it, then yeah, I hope you have a good time, rather than like coming out of the movie theater full of dread. That would be most unfortunate. Looks like you are already working on 600 DPI, so pretty high quality using either vector or and raster. Yes, yes indeed. Keep in mind, the DPI is the dots per inch, so you can also increase the quality by increasing the size of your canvas itself. And I'm actually working on a fairly small canvas compared to a lot of other mangaka. I know, well, not just mangaka, like comic people in general. They work on very large canvases, and part of the reason why I'm doing it like as a 1-for-1 small canvas for the pages is, one, because I hate doing ratios, and two, because my computer is actually just a laptop that overheats very easily, it seems. And the bigger the canvas is, the more it chugs. So I'd rather work on a small canvas and then use vector layers and just, you know, another thing when you're using vector layers is, of course, you can export it at a higher DPI and it won't pixelate. Raster layers will pixelate no matter what DPI you export it at, but vector layers, they will adjust accordingly. So you have the option to change the DPI when you're exporting in Clip Studio, which is very nice. So I can kinda work within my limitations to make sure that it's still high quality when it's on like the print. Hopefully, anyway. I hope I don't fuck up these tones. Oh. I am working with a printer that has printed manga before, and I'm hoping that they will help me out in that regard. They seemed like very nice. Like they wanted to help. So I will take them up on their offer and hope it all turns out well. Let's see, better than MK Annihilation? Though anything is better than that movie. I need to see the MK animated films. Yeah, printer better not mess up. I sure hope so. I do. Now, we are done the chapter cover. So I guess I can call the stream here. I feel a little bit bad, right? Because so many of you for like the longest time were chatting and it just wasn't getting through, which is really frustrating. I don't know what is YouTube's problem. They have to work out for sure. I'm not really done. I'm not really ready to do the next chapter cover though. The only thing that I really would have to work on is like the map that I'm doing for like one of the extra pages, and I don't really think that's maybe as exciting to stream, me just like super zoomed in drawing buildings from an isometric view. So maybe next time we could do last chapter cover, or we could just hang out just hang out and talk about stuff, things. Yeah, pretty close to being completely done with the book. It's mostly, honestly, just mostly editing. Let me just fill that in. Alright. Sorry. A little bit of acid. What can I say? Let's see. I would love to see how you use the perspective ruler. Oh, you give me too much credit. The perspective ruler is a bit of a bitch. It's a learning curve. I think in Clip Studio. I think the best way to go about it is honestly to just like draw out the perspective first and then add the ruler afterwards. I don't know, there's something about the Clip Studio perspective ruler is such a bitch. It just doesn't do like what I want it to do. It's not intuitive, I guess. It's like when you start a video game and you've played other games like it, but for some reason all the controls are wrong. They're not wrong, right? But they're like all different from other games that are similar to the game that you're playing. And so it's like this weird curve in your brain, like, oh, it doesn't work like that? That's weird. I guess I gotta change my strategy of how to use this thing. You keep on pressing A to jump, but jump is actually the left trigger, you know? Awful. But yeah. I tried using it the other day and I got lost. 100%. Yeah. No, I have similar experiences. There's got to be like some way to like make it easier. I just don't know. I just don't know how. I guess I'm not the person that knows all the Clip Studio secrets. Those deep secrets. The more I look at art, the more I realize things are wrong with art. Come on. You ever like click something like 80 times and it still just like doesn't work? I have this experience quite often, actually. Zooming in and out can be a bit of a pain because it just like really jumps. Going to look good once I get around to buying it if available on the Burning Star website. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It will eventually be available on the website. I just gotta fill the campaign first and foremost. Because, you know, campaign backers always come first. That's the rule. That's the rule of the campaigns. Can't serve other people when you haven't served the people who have been there since day one. Absolutely not. Just thinning out that part of her neck. Maybe a little bit up top as you bit. This is why I can't have an art piece open for too long. I just start fiddling with it and it never ends, will it? Seems early reviews for the next Resident Evil game are positive. Oh yeah, a lot of people have been playing Resident Evil, streaming Resident Evil because of the new Resident Evil game getting announced. I will be a little bit against the grain, and I will say I didn't really like the direction they went with Resident Evil after 7. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of 7. It was very generic. And then, like, 8, they had some interesting ideas, but the writing was really bad. I love the idea of like introducing werewolves and vampires and shit into the Resident Evil universe. It almost feels like the natural progression, and the environments were so pretty. It's fun exploring a mansion again in a Resident Evil game, but the writing was really bad. I mean, like, the main character, I don't even know why they're forcing you to play as that guy. I'm sorry. Maybe you like those games. It's totally fine if you like those games. I still fairly enjoyed myself playing Resident Evil 8. Yes. I fairly enjoyed myself playing Resident Evil 8. It's just not the same experience as playing, like, 5. 5 was peak. I'm just gonna say it. 5 was peak. 6 was fine. 5 was peak. And people hate 6. 6 is like, whatever. It could have been better, I know. I still enjoy it. It's fine. But yeah, will all the books be signed? All the books from the campaign will be signed. The books on the website will be the straight book on its own. But if you ever meet me at a convention, I will sign your book for free. We can take a picture and stuff. Can make a day out of it. Woot woot, I am excited to read it in physical. Hell yeah. Glad. I've yet to play Resident Evil 8, and I just got Resident Evil 4 Christmas. Oh yeah, I have not gotten around to playing the Resident Evil 4 remake, but me and Adam were thinking about playing it sometime. It's weird because there are some scenes that they changed, and, you know, sometimes it's like a better change, but sometimes it's like, why the fuck did you change that? Weird. What a weird change. Like you're protecting, what is it, the president's daughter, I think? You're as Leon and you're protecting her, and for some reason in the remake they like kinda made her look not ugly per se, but weird. She looks a little, I don't know, they put her in a pantsuit. I'm like, I don't really know if she would wear that. I think you can get the original outfit also. The original outfit is better for what they're like going for. Yeah. Like I said, she doesn't look ugly. She just looks different than how I would imagine her looking in higher graphics, I guess. She just looks a little weird, right? You know? It's like, oh, that's not really how I imagined that character, but I guess that's fine. Resident Evil 4 Remake is great. Yeah, I gotta get to playing it sometime. For sure. It's a good one. A lot of people say Resident Evil 4 is peak, actually. And I get it. I get it. Part of the reason I like Resident Evil 5 so much is because me and Adam both really enjoy doing Mercenaries together. And we can just like play that over and over and over again and just have an absolute fucking blast, you know? There's no Mercenaries quite like 5 Mercenaries. 6 has Mercenaries, and it's good, but the play style is a little bit different. How they want you to rack up your points is a little bit different. You know how it is. Anyway, I said I was gonna end I was gonna end the stream, but then we got on the topic of Resident Evil. But yeah, I don't know if I'll check out 9. Maybe. Maybe Adam will, like, start playing it and tell me whether or not it's good. And then if it is good, we can play it together on, like, a stream or something, you know? Something like that. For those of you who aren't subscribed to the gaming channel, feel free to go over there, drop a sub, and you can watch us play some video games together. Last we played was the Resident Evil. We were doing a challenge run, I guess, Resident Evil 5, but only rocket launchers. You can only use rocket launchers, which is totally doable, obviously, right? But the real trick is making sure you don't blow yourself up, because there's a lot of tight corners here and there, and there's a lot of areas in which you do not want to shoot a rocket launcher, right? But it's been fun. Anyways, we gotta get back to that challenge run sometime. I want to finish the whole game, naturally. But yeah, ton of fun. Sorry that at the beginning of this stream, YouTube was being stupid. But we made it through. We got another chapter cover done. And I'm gonna call it here. And just say good night. And I hope to see you again, I guess Friday, because we get the Friday streams. Friday streams are fun. I can do a regular Friday stream, regular Friday with Dannphan, or I can do another drawing stream, Friday drawing with Dannphan. That's fine. Let me know which, I guess you guys probably prefer the regular Friday streams because they're a little bit more talkative, whereas in these kind of streams I'm a little more distracted by doing the art. So, yeah, okay. We can do regular. Until then, guys, I will see you and give you some updates on Reaper Book 2, which will be done by the end of this week, start of next week, but very, very soon, I promise. Anyways, good night, everybody, and goodbye.